I think I've calmed down now. I think I've calmed down. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of For Eagle Eyes. This is the match reaction to the Carabao Cup defeat against Watford. Apologies again. I couldn't do this last night. I was fuming. I was absolutely fuming. And there was only one reason why I was fuming. It's because we couldn't take our chances. Obviously, I've had some time to sleep on it. And in all honesty, I was actually impressed with the manner in which we approached the game. We were completely dominant. We were trying to get the ball forward quick. We attacked with purpose. We created chances, which is something we haven't done this season. We just couldn't put them away. And that brings us on to Mateta. Now, I was if you look over my previous streams, I was like, we have to be patient. He's not had a run of games. He needs a chance. I think I'm done. I generally think I'm done with him. I just don't think he can cut it. I really don't. Yeah, we need a striker badly. We really do. We really do. I'm just going to talk about the first opportunity he had, which obviously was shown on Sky Sports News, because there was no way of watching the game, and some were saying, "Oh, it's a great defensive work." The defender had no clue where the ball was. He's got to score. He's got to score, in my personal opinion. And you know what's weird? He gets himself in the right places. He just can't hit the back of the net. But we're not in a position to be missing 3-4 chances a game. Not at all. And fortunately, we got punished. I think that was probably Watford's only chance. And they scored from it. We were completely in control, completely dominant, and this is why I was so frustrated, because I knew all my anger would have just been towards Mateta. But he's got to go. He's got to go. Welcome for those that are in the chat. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. United fan here, but he's a massive supporter of the channel, so he's definitely got his popcorn ready. Don't worry, I'm going to try not to rant today. If I'd come on yesterday, you would have been hearing me screaming up the place. Why was he playing left wing though? Question is, why was he playing? We're talking about trying to get that confidence up. It's just got to stop Benteke. It's just got that, personally. Jose in the chat again. I want him to succeed too much, but I'm having trouble to process. You know what? And this is us. We want all our players to do well. I wouldn't say it's a toxic fan base. There's toxic Twitter, but I wouldn't say there's a toxic fan base. And I'm sure we all wanted him to succeed. I mean, a lot of us were screaming out why he and that's why he weren't getting more minutes last season under Roy. He's getting the minutes now. It's just not justifying it at the minute. Other than that, I think personally the only other bit of annoyance, I think, was just not seeing Jez come on. For trying to win the game, I think bringing on Jez would have been a positive substitution to make. But like I said, all in all, you know what? The way we're playing is very impressive. Gay and Anderson, again, superb. And Gallagher as well. So those three as a core, no issues at all. The three that we've brought in have been fantastic. And it's just nice to see that we're dominating teams as well. So whatever's working on the training field, minus the attacking part and scoring goals, is working. We just got to score goals now. We really need to get some goals in, and we need to get a striker in. Anyway, I'm just going to put the link back in the chat for anyone who wants to come on and have their say. I'm going to bring in Luke.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
I had a overnight to think about yesterday's result. A bit
What?
disappointing. Uh, a bit annoying as well. They scored in the 86th minute, which you don't like to see at all after so much domination. Did we have about 66 possession?
Something along those lines, yeah. We were in complete control.
Yeah. Um, do you know how many shots we had on target? Or
Let me have a look. I'll get back to you on that. But we had a fair few. Like Mateta had about 4.
yeah.
So talk to us about Mateta. What's your thoughts on him?
Okay, Mateta. I've backed the guy since he came to the club. Okay, and I think majority of Crystal Palace fans have backed him since he first arrived in January. But I think he's only played about 7-8 games, started about 7-8 games for us since his arrival. And in that contract, he has to start 15 to get him on a permanent deal, which is a bit concerning because if we do start him 15, that means we have to either give him a permanent contract, or if we don't start 15, we have to get rid of him. So he's only started about 7 or 8 games.
Yeah, he shouldn't be starting anymore. I'm sorry. Send him back to Mainz. We can't be signing him on a permanent. Anyway, sorry, I'm taking your shine away. You talk. You talk. Let me not interrupt.
Yeah. We need a striker. I think everyone can see that. There's a lot of options out there. I'm not gonna. I would like Eddie Nketiah, thinking about it now, because I think he's a poacher, isn't he? He knows where the back of the net is. Like, he could probably be like an Ian Wright. I mean, he was sort of dubbed to be the next Ian Wright by Arsenal fans, right? So you never know. Maybe he can do like a switch of Ian Wright's career. Maybe, and maybe go to Palace and then have a good career, hopefully. But Eddie Nketiah is probably the most likely striker target at the moment. Obviously, we all want Edouard, but that's sort of dead in the water at the moment.
Yeah.
But hopefully that we see some concrete links in the next few days, because it's coming towards the deadline, and deadline day always has a few surprises. Let's see on that one. Will Hughes, I mean, he's a good player. We can't keep relying on Maka all the time, because eventually Maka will tire towards the end of the season, and we all knew that from last season. He got injured quite a lot last season, and Maka in the midfield all the time. Can't keep relying on him. Maybe Will Hughes is the sensible option. We all would like him. I mean, some Palace fans would. But one person I would like. Do you feel like we're missing like a number 6, or do you feel like we have that in Gyro?
You know what? I think I can see why Patrick's kind of rotating between him and Coyote. Because I think in some games you're just going to need a bruiser, and in other games you're going to actually need to keep the ball better. I was very surprised he didn't play against Brentford. What the Watford game, I was like, fair enough. I can see why. Watford, what tried to do is kick you up in the air and stuff. So I can see why he's got more of a competitive midfielder in there. But if we don't see him against West Ham, it could, I don't know, maybe he's out of favour. I have no idea. But we do need someone who can progress the ball forward a bit quicker.
I would like Frank Sambo and Guisa.
He's a good player, and Guisa is very good player.
He's one that I want, but I think Will Hughes might be the guy that we are looking at. And then defence, we're fine. We're absolutely fine. We have been linked. We have been linked with Kazawa today.
Yeah, from Paris Saint-Germain.
So
Who's a very good attacking defender. Defensively, bit so, but attacking, very, very good for going forward. And I think that obviously with the style that Patrick's trying to play, especially if we play with three at the back and wing backs, he will fit the club really well, to be honest.
Yeah. But apart from that, I think we're okay. But Mateta, as you're saying, we should go. He should go. He just doesn't cut it in the Prem. So
Yeah, there's a few that agree with you, so I'm just going to go through the comments. So Virginia Pay says, I don't think we should keep him. You know,
fair enough. Yeah.
then says hello. Thank you for tuning in. Just CPFC. Patrick obviously believes in him as well. I think he does as well. See, there's obviously something that Patrick sees in training because he's getting more minutes than Roy gave him. Or is he doing it as a way to say, you know what, you don't need to see that we badly need a striker? I don't know, but he's getting the game time. He's getting the game time. Strong O'Neill says we should give him one more chance to throw fire on him. Jose says, and Greece is the best championship player. It will cost us around for 20 mil. And also says that a striker is a priority. I agree. I absolutely agree. Before you go, Lou, can we bring our next caller in? Score prediction for Saturday. West Ham.
I'm going to the game. I've got my tickets for it.
Awesome.
I don't want to see us lose. I'm always optimistic about Palace, but I'm going to go for 2-1 Palace. I'm going to go for Wilf. I want Wilf to turn up. I've been saying this for the past few days. I want Wilf to turn up. And I think we're going to win 2-1. I think Wilf will turn up. I think he'll score one, and then I think Christian will score the other.
Awesome. Luke, pleasure to have you on as always, mate. Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on.
Up the Palace.
Indeed, up the Palace.
Yeah.
I can see we're just trying to lift up. Everyone's feels deflated. Oh, man. We're going to beat West Ham. We're going to beat West Ham. I believe in it. Next caller. I think...
Not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm trying to be optimistic as possible, mate.
I can hear, mate. I can hear.
Thoughts?
I'm disappointed. I'm not livid. I'm not, panicking, but I really would have liked to go and find both cups this year. I think, we've got to go for one of them, but doing well yesterday would have given us that opportunity to kind of see where we are, see the fixtures in both kind of ties and weigh up what cup we want to go for this year. And, well, we don't have that choice now, do we? We're out the first round again, goalless again. And, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. We all want a cup run, don't we?
Absolutely. Mateta, thoughts?
Well, I've got some notes down here, and I want to say something.
Lovely, go for it.
Yeah, well, I completely get where the fan base is at with Mateta. It is frustrating, especially when he's been given chances recently and he's not taken them. But what I want to say is we put up so long with Benteke not scoring, so long. We gave him that chance, and last season, it paid off. We got our patience got rewarded, and Benteke came, well into the goals again. But at Palace, we deserve so much more from our strikers. We praised Jordan Ayew so much for that season, a couple of seasons ago, where obviously, I think it was only at 9 goals, wasn't it, in the end? But those 9 goals, very, very important, crucial.
They were important goals, yeah.
They were. But at Palace, we've needed someone for so long to come in and get 14, 15 goals a season. We just lacked it. We've really, really lacked it. And this is the time where really we've got to go into the market and get our man. And I've said it, on a call the other day, didn't I?
Yeah.
Edouard, just get it done.
Just go get him.
I know his wages are the problem because he's only got a year left on his deal, and I get Celtic won't want to let him go. but I do think there's a deal to be done around the £15 million mark.
There will be. Celtic will
just
not
crazy.
want to let him go on a free.
No, and I heard obviously Luke, last caller, say he wouldn't mind Nketiah. I completely get that. He's very versatile as well, but bringing in Nketiah is a risk. You know, we're bringing in
It
someone
is risky.
he's not been in amongst the goals, and that's what we need. We're talking about Mateta given chances and not taking them. It's exactly the same with Nketiah. He's not been in and amongst the goals recently, and we need
Yeah.
someone who's been clinical recently. And Edouard, I mean, you know, you look at his previous seasons, it's as clinical as
unreal.
they come. It's as
It is
clinical as
unreal.
they come, and we need someone to come straight in and get those goals straight away. We have no time to waste.
Absolutely. Before I come back to you on another point, just go through some of the comments. A goal on Saturday is a win. This is how we're feeling at the moment. Joseph says, "Hey, Kat, got a few fans
mate.
here at the moment.
Hey, boys."
I can see another IU special against West Ham, and he seems to turn up against them. You know, he really does seem to turn up against them. So hopefully he does. Get the guy on more. Talk sense. I'll make note of that 100%. If you like more of Kurt, we'll get more of Kurt. Absolutely.
Happy to be on.
We need an out-and-out goal scorer, not youth or risk. We've bought enough of that. Yeah, and lastly is Edouard likely, and I think Edouard is. Celtic will not look after this COVID, and obviously COVID was devastating for not only people but also for the clubs as well. No clubs can scuff 15 million now.
No,
they can't turn it down. You know, and Edouard, I think himself came out and said, "Listen, let me go, otherwise I'll just run my contract down."
They can't afford that.
They can't afford to lose him on a free. So, yes, as much as we're trying to barter and stuff, we don't want to risk not getting him at all. Just put the money down and take it from there, really, in my opinion.
And I want to say as well, you know, we've seen recently 2 targets that have gone. Obviously, Adam Armstrong, gone to Southampton.
Yeah.
Dan Juma, I think he's gone to Villarreal.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, obviously, I'm not saying we'd made a bid for any. Well, we did make a bid for Armstrong, but not sure about Dan Juma. But there's 2 targets there that we were weighing up for, and they've moved on. You know, our short list can't be never ending. We've got to eventually go in for someone, and I don't want to leave it to deadline day. I don't want to take that risk.
Nah.
I think we've got to get it done now. Vieira needs the tools to succeed. You know, he's been quite vocal about it, really. Something we didn't have under Roy. He was obviously promised money in the interview. We obviously spent a substantial amount on our defence, but it's just clear to see we need goals. We really need goals.
And you know what? All his signings so far have been a success, which shows that if we can get the fraud line sorted with signings, the right signings, we can do very well this season. Our back line have been immense. Like our centre-back partnership, loving it. Gallagher, loving it. You know, obviously it's probably going to be near impossible to get him on a permanent because I'm sure Chelsea will love to have him back. But it's not like we've brought players in who are then sitting on our bench. We've brought players in who are actually like, yes, they can actually start for us.
Definitely. And
you know.
Yeah, Vieira said that. He said, you know, we're looking to improve the squad. We're not just looking to bring in players for the sake of numbers. We're looking to bring in players who will start and challenge the first teamers we've already got. As you say, I just love Gallagher already. I think I wasn't expecting him to be as creative as he's been. I was expecting him to be a workhorse and go in for challenges and pick up the odd card and break the play down. But his creative play has been unbelievable.
Really, really good.
It's been unbelievable. But I heard you on the last call, mate. What's going on with Jez? You know, I think we were promised youth. We were promised, you know, young squad, and obviously the signings we've brought in have obviously started, and I've got no complaints with that. But I thought this was the year we really gave our youth a push, and I know it's only early doors, but starting Ayew over Jez against Brentford as well. Was Ayew starting against? No, I didn't start against Brentford.
It was Schlupp.
It was Schlupp. My bad. But even then, it's a chance for Jez to get on the pitch. Didn't happen. It didn't happen yesterday. I mean, I was going to say, I thought Omalaba was going to be given a chance as well, but not even Jez at the moment. It's annoying.
It is quite frustrating. And once again, fingers crossed, I'm just hoping that it's the fact that he wants to make a statement regarding signings.
It must be. It must be. I
I'm
think
hoping it's just that.
everything he's doing at the moment points towards that. I mean, coming out for an hour after full-time whistle had gone for his media duties last night, it's a clear dig. Obviously, he's spending time with the players in the dressing room, but he wants to show people that things aren't all, this isn't something we need to take lightly. I know it's a cut, but this is something we're taking very seriously. And I just, typical Palace. We cannot leave it to deadline day. Our last few deadline days have been pretty poor.
They have been bad.
And if you were Celtic, would you realistically accept an offer on deadline day? Unless you had a deal lined up.
And that's not guaranteed anyway.
No, exactly. There's so many things that can go wrong. I just hope we don't leave it to the 12th hour.
This is it. I'll just go through a few more comments, and I'll ask for your prediction on Saturday. So there you go. So we need quite a few positions in such a short amount of time. Is Kia to stay in?
I
hope so. We can't afford to lose anymore.
No way.
So really, really hope so. I need a therapy when Gallagher goes.
I think we need therapy now.
Yeah. If Sal goes to Chelsea, then Gallagher could be a possibility. It's a shout. That is a shout. Hello, Jose. Jose's very popular in the chat as well, to be fair. Why didn't we put in for Ings? That move to Villa came out of nowhere.
Step above.
I heard you have been happy with him. I heard you've been happy with him. Danny is a quality striker, but I think he was aspiring for like European football.
Yeah, there's no way he's join Palace.
I don't think he would sign for us.
No.
I mean, I think we missed the boat when we lost out to him to Southampton, I believe.
Yeah.
At the time, so yeah.
From Liverpool?
From Liverpool, yeah.
Yeah.
We've yet to have Olise and Eze, and that's true, That's true. But we can't wait on it. That's the problem. We can't wait
for Olise, but Eze, that's a long time.
It's a long time. And lastly, great point. And I think this is referring to Jez. If he doesn't play in the League Cup, then when? Yeah. Very good point. Just finally, score prediction for Saturday.
I'm going also, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we get a goal. But my slightly optimistic, but kind of keeping it realistic at the same time, 2-2. I'll go with 2-2. I think we will score. I think, a point that gets overlooked, it's a big pitch.
Yeah.
Keeping the ball will be easier for our players. Selhurst is quite crammed. It's quite hard. You get pressed easy. So I think we'll have more chance on the ball. We'll get a goal, maybe 2. 2-2.
Let's hope so. Let's hope we get some goals on the board. Get some goals on Saturday and actually break this duck and get this win. I'm optimistic. I think we'll beat West Ham too, to be honest.
Let's hope so. I really hope so.
All right. Thanks as always for tuning in, for jumping in.
Thanks for having me on, mate.
No problems. Take care.
You too, mate.
Jacob, just to answer this question, it's after the international break. There was rumours that he possibly could play some under 23 games as well as like tune up to get his fitness up. Our next caller. Nath, what's happening?
Yes, Rich.
We spoke a bit yesterday, to be fair, so I know exactly how you're feeling.
Oh, yeah, you know exactly how I feel about last night. But I've slept on it, and I'm still annoyed, but I'm looking at it and thinking the League Cup isn't a priority. It's disappointing to go out again, early stages, again, not scoring, again. But I look back on our last couple of results, and it's the same thing the last couple of years. Colchester at home, Bournemouth away, and obviously last night. I know, obviously, I said a fair bit about Mateta. I even got put in Twitter jail for what I said about Mateta, which baffles me, because all I said was I have to question his ability as a footballer. But anyway, I'm nearly out of Twitter jail, so I'm not going to get myself in more trouble. But I felt for Mateta last night. I really did, because he was trying. And this is what a lot of the fan base are overlooking. Everybody's quick to jump on someone when they're not playing well. Benteke was famous for it. Benteke was trying and trying and trying. It weren't coming off. People
Yeah.
going, he's rubbish, he's crap, he's this, he's that. People must have forgotten the dead strikers we've had before Benteke.
That's a good point.
Now, I could go on about them, but I'd rather not give myself an aneurysm, so I'll keep it short and sweet. But if you've ever seen Kevin Doyle in a Palace shirt, you know about dead strikers. So people just give Mateta a little bit of time. I'm not saying that he did himself any favours last night, because he didn't. There was 1 or 2 chances he should be putting away. Let's be fair. It's his bread and butter. Okay? But I'm not annoyed that we lost to Watford. Them beating us means more to them. So I'm like, okay, cool, you beat us. Great. That's your season 1. Champion. Brilliant for you. We beat Crystal Palace in the League Cup. Add that to the other trophies when they beat us in different games. I'm not really into this fake rivalry they're trying to start with us. But look, our fixture list in the next 4 games is not favourable.
It really
But
is.
do you know what it is? That means there's less pressure on us to deliver. Because the only game we'll really have to deliver on is when we play that lot down the road on the South Coast. Because West Ham is just another London derby. It's not a big rivalry between us. Tottenham, again, it's a London derby. We're not really expected to get anything from that. And Liverpool just have our number. And we knew that was going to happen eventually, because that little mini run we had, it was nice, but it doesn't last forever. And you know what? One thing that's really annoyed me about the whole Vieira out thing that I slightly started to see last night. Do people remember Alan Pardew's start at the club? It was the total opposite to Vieira. He won his first game in the Cup, won his first game in the league. By the end of it, we couldn't win or score for money.
Yeah.
And Pardew had made some signings that were meant to take us to the next level. Vieira has had 1 transfer window with limited players available, because we let go of a bag of players that we deemed were not worthy of keeping on. Now, obviously, people will point out, oh, but Andros scored last night. That's great. But Townsend scores 1 goal a season for us, and then that's him done for the season.
This is it.
I know people hold on to players because Townsend scored a screamer at City and things like that. That's great. But to evolve, you need to change. And to change, things that you're used to happening don't have to happen anymore. Half the fan base was screaming out for more progressive football last season. Now we're slowly starting to see it implemented.
We're actually starting to see it now, yeah.
Yeah, and look, it's not going to cut. People think this is FIFA. You can sign all the best players in the world, put them in a Crystal Palace shirt, and you can literally control them to start scoring goals for fun. It doesn't work like that.
It's never going to be an overnight thing. Never.
Do you know what I'm saying? Vieira realistically would need 2-3 windows to get this team to the way he wants it. Because there's players in this team that, trust me, have been here since Pardew, Allardyce, De Boer, Hodgson. I can go even further back as Tony Pulis. And that's not to shame any managers we've had in the past. They've all done their bit to get us to where we are.
Yeah.
But we've signed, with all due respect, fossil managers that belong in museums. But they've done the job we needed at that time to stabilise us as a Premier League club. So I'm not saying we should be ashamed that we played dead football under these managers. We played to the best of our strengths. Everybody knows Palace don't have an endless bucket of money to sign players from all over the world, which is fine. We don't want money like that because we've never been a money club. Wouldn't want to be. Our whole ethos is based around you've got the money, we've got the soul. So I'm fine with us struggling this season because I can see it's slowly coming together. It's not going to be instantaneous. We're going to shoot up the league. But remember, people, you think it's bad for Palace. Did you see my man, the Arsenal fan that's going around social media? He's going off on one in his car.
What's his name? Eagle TV or something like that.
No. This is some other Arsenal fan. Man screaming at the camera every time Arsenal have a bad result. And I'm saying, you've seen your team win Premier Leagues and FA Cups. Do you realise how lucky you are? We would give anything for 1 League Cup. Granted, I know we got knocked out last night, but hear me out. Administration 11 years ago, people are going to keep going on about that. But listen, we know real pain of nearly losing our football club. Pain to this Arsenal fan is not being in Europe.
Yeah.
Is he serious? The worst he's seen Arsenal finish is 8th. He ain't seen his team go away to Sheffield Wednesday and play a relegation playoff and not being able to watch the game for fear of it going against you. So whilst I understand people's anger about Mateta had a bad game, of course he did. Half the team did. But Mateta's going to be the one on the firing line because he's the striker. Wilfried Zaha was non-existent last night. Where's the anger towards Wilf?
He's not had a good start to the season.
Do you know what I'm saying? And this is somebody who allegedly wants to move. Wilf, you want to move? Play like you're £100 million player. That's how you get a move. If he goes, I'm not going to miss him. Do you know why? Because he's come back. We've polished him back to the player we knew he could be. But he's chosen to stay and sign a big contract that we didn't force him into signing.
Yeah.
We offered him bigger money. He accepted it. He had every right to go, do you know what? Nah, I'm done with Palace. I want to move. All right, cool. Move.
It's a fair point. I'm going to just go through some of the comments. So just CPFC said, spitting facts. Joe said, whoever said Vieira out, I believe he was trying to say, yeah, it is mad. Yeah, absolutely. Like, he does need time and suitable assets. Absolutely. We need Edouard.
For sure. For sure.
You know what? I'm going to touch on this bit because you make a
Mhm.
good point. We do need better fans. We need to do better as a fan base. And it's not everybody. It is a small minority. And this is where, listen, I love Twitter. I love the fact that you can engage with people like very, very quickly. In the same breath, I absolutely hate it. Like, I was fuming last night. But
Trust me. I know.
What I was seeing on Twitter, I was just like, I just put my phone down. I just put my phone down. I was like, this is just mad. It's just crazy. Like the Vieira out brigade. I was like, what, already? Have you not actually seen that we've actually progressed in each game? Against Chelsea, we were non-existent. Brentford slightly better. We were superb playing wise yesterday. Just couldn't hit. If we had scored 2-3 goals, no one would have been surprised.
But you got to remember, the same people that are giving out and Vieira out this and that, they expected a quick fix.
Yeah.
Do you remember we did the first show on your channel and I said to everybody, a slow burner is better for us than rocking up the league and then all of a sudden we run out of gas mid-season and we do a Pardew. Look at 15, 16 people. We were 5th at Christmas. We couldn't believe how well we were doing. And what happened? We lost Balassi away at Stoke and we fell down the league table like it was going out of fashion.
Yeah. We
became charity football club. And this isn't to slight those players because it happened. We had a key injury to a key player and our season unraveled. If it weren't for the FA Cup, Pardew would have been gone. Now, we've got Vieira in who, okay, his record isn't great. People, if you look back to 1984, right, just to hear me out, Steve Coppell was 29 years of age and had never managed in his life. He got the job under Uncle Ron, who I still don't think gets anywhere near the hate he should. Some people love him, some people hate him, but hear me out. Steve Coppell went from being one of those young managers that everybody was like, he's too young. He doesn't know what he's doing, the rest of it. He led us to unprecedented heights. And I know it's a different era of football. But what I'm saying is the fan base then gave him time. Yeah? The reason why is because Twitter didn't exist. But now that Twitter exists, and I love Twitter and I hate Twitter, it's a love-hate relationship with Twitter, as you just said. Yeah? Reason being is I understand people's anger. You've every right to feel angry when your team doesn't perform in a game, let alone in a game where there's a bit of needle between our fans and their fans. Because bear in mind, they're still sour over the 2013 playoff final. Don't ask me why, because it was donkeys years ago now. But you can understand what I'm trying to say. Like to us, that was donkeys years back. I could care less about the playoff final or the FA Cup semi-final. Or when they knocked us out in the quarterfinal a few years ago, it's like, those are old games. They're over. Right?
But
and people... Go ahead, Rich.
No, I was just going to say, now, and this is, we don't need to like engage in this like back and forth with clubs that were just better than. You know what I mean? We just got to just let them talk. Let them talk. We just continue to move in silence and the league table will show at the end of the season where we're at. Where we're at. I get there's rivalry. Brighton, there is rivalry, but like Watford, as you said earlier, wants to form a rivalry. We generally don't care about them, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Bro, these men are a Hertfordshire version of Charlton. Let's get that in there. Let's be honest. The only time I care about them is when we play them. After that is who? Who?
Yeah, literally.
What? Yeah. But what caught my eye yesterday was people kept reminding us about, it's not fair that we're not signing player this and player that. I said, listen, signings will come. And do you think Vieira's happy with this?
He's come out three times now and mentioned it.
I'm pretty sure John Textor and his son were there last night from what I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know how true it was, but he will look at that and go, do you know what? I might need to have a word with the lads about this, because they know this is not going to be a quick fix project, but it's never meant to be. The whole point of moving from Hodgson to Vieira was we weren't going to be instantaneously shooting up the league. Look at Liverpool as a very good example. When Klopp came in, he had players that weren't worthy of the Liverpool badge.
Yeah.
Yeah? Klopp slowly worked with what he had, but quickly went and said, you know what? Move this guy out, move that guy out, bring in a Sadio Mane, bring in a Mohamed Salah, and watch how quickly Liverpool transformed into the team we know now. I'm not saying we're going to do the same thing, but Vieira will know what players suit his style of football.
Yeah. With
all due respect to the player I'm about to mention, but let's go with Milivojevic, for example. Luke has been a fantastic player on his day, but the way we're trying to play, Luka doesn't suit our style of football.
Yeah, I agree.
Neither really, to be fair, does Jairo Riedewald, but I'm willing to give Jairo a bit more of a leniency because we haven't seen an awful lot of Jairo Riedewald, so I can kind of let it go with him.
Yeah.
But people have been waxing lyrical about, the academy. Tyrick Mitchell is already, people are saying, get him out. We don't want him at left back. Mate,
yeah.
I'm thinking, wait a minute. Mitchell makes a mistake. He's the worst thing ever. But people were backing PVA until last season. People were backing a man that can't defend. You'd have better luck catching a bus than catching PVA defending. I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious here, right? But what really annoys me is, let's say we sign an Edouard, which will be fantastic for us.
Yeah. Celtic
aren't in an urgent selling position, so you can understand they're thinking, you know what? Let's try and get what we can from Palace. But I've heard we're in for the likes of Callum McGregor. Not overly disappointed with that. Good player. I think he could do well in the Premier League. Also talk of Ryan Christie at Celtic. I'm thinking, I don't see Celtic selling 3 key players to us, to tell you the truth. I think that's more paper talk than anything. But a lot of people write off the so-called smaller leagues, or farmers' leagues as I like to call them, because, it's not as good as the Prem. Didn't we get James MacArthur from the Championship, from Wigan?
Van Dijk played at Celtic too for a bit.
Van Dijk, Wanyama, and let's be fair. We don't know, for all we know, Vieira could have absolutely run amok last night and gone, listen, this is not good enough. We're in a transition, and it's hard to watch us in a transition. It really is hard to watch your team in a transition because we're so used to playing the Hodgson way and the Pulis way and the Allardyce way. And that's fine. We've lived with that for so long. We've forgotten what it's like to see attacking football because the last time we've seen that was the promotion season.
Yeah.
Where it was suicidal attacking football. It was effective. I mean, look, if you ever watch Ian Holloway's time at Palace, trust me, when I say suicide football, I don't know how we're winning games at some point. It's like, we've got 9 men up the pitch. Oh, Christ, we're in trouble. I'm not really a man that swears, but you can understand. Holloway tried to desperately change Dougie's team to fit him, and it worked, and then it flopped, and then it worked again.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Vieira can't be questioned, because some things about last night, I do think, maybe you got that wrong. Maybe this sub should have been made of that sub. But I can see he went with a strong team. We never put out a strong team in the League Cup, ever.
You did. Like I said, if we had scored 2-3 goals, no one would have been surprised.
We should have been 2-3 clear before Ashley Fletcher scored. But listen, sometimes it falls for you, sometimes it doesn't. I understand people's anger. You do too. I can understand your anger, my anger. Who do you think's most angry? Steve Parish, the man who's literally seen the club pay 20 million for a new academy. Vieira was going bananas on the touchline. Right? We saw that from Ray Lewington last season, and I love Ray Lewington for that because he was giving players bollockings when they weren't doing the job.
Their job.
Roy Hodgson was the arm around the shoulder. Ray Lewington was, you're not pulling your weight. You're out the team next week. Vieira's not afraid to go, listen, you ain't good enough. You're not performing to the level you should. If Zaha's dropped for West Ham, anybody pressing the panic button about Vieira out, don't support Palace no more. Because you have to earn your way back into the team at any club. Zaha's form right now is disgraceful. And it's his own fault.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyway, let's wrap up with your prediction for Saturday.
I want to be confident, and I'm gonna balance it. I would like to hope, say, a 2-1 win, if I'm being confident. But I'm well aware West Ham are dangerous because I watched their game against Leicester, and I know for a fact Mikel Antonio will have a field day against Joel Ward. So trust me, people. I'm not trying to be negative, but just hear me out. Slightly pessimistic. 2-1 defeat or a 1-1 draw, somewhere along those lines. West Ham could batter us. Don't get me wrong. They very well could hammer us, and excuse the pun, they could hammer us, right? But people, if you can't back it when it goes wrong, don't be backing it when it's going right.
Yeah, 100%.
Because people, remember one thing, Frank de Boer. After 2 games of Premier League football, we had no points under him. We're 1 point better off already. So stop the De Boer comparisons. It's old. It's over already. It's done out here.
There shouldn't have been comparisons anyway. Absolutely. But listen, Nate, thanks for jumping on.
No, man, big up.
Pleasure as always, bro.
Nice one.
So yeah, this is it. See if there's no one else jumping in, I'm gonna call an end to this match reaction. But you know what? And this sums it up, and this is the reason why I wanted to talk to as many Palace fans as possible. Everyone's going to have either similar or different opinions, and this is it. This is our platform here to talk Palace. Be back again after the West Ham game, so sometime Saturday evening, to do a match reaction for that too. And we'll just keep talking about Palace and the good, the highs, the lows, the good, the bads. It is what it is. This is your platform to call in and share. And lastly, Virginia Pay says the academy is good though. Lots of good players are coming through, so that's a positive. And I'm glad we ended on a positive note. And you're absolutely right. Our academy at the moment is fantastic, and I feel we'll see a lot of players breaking through, but breaking through at the right time as well. So, guys, yeah, this was the match reaction. Let's continue to back the manager. We can already see that he's doing great things. We're playing a lot better than we used to. We're a bit more progressive. Our centre backs are phenomenal. Gallagher's been a dream to have in the middle of the park. Once we find our shooting boots, I think we'll be fine. But I must admit, the next 6 days of the transfer window are huge. This is Eagle Eyed Football. Say bless, and I'm out.